Hello and howdy, kids. Here to talk about the new film from Robert Rodriguez, Machete Kills. It was okay. I enjoyed it. It was kind of exhausting, kind of boring. I think I'll be fine by giving it a 5. I think a 5 is fair. You know, just pretty much right down the middle of the road. I really can't say that I'd recommend it to people. I'd recommend it, but only to, a select group. I'm not going to recommend this film to the average Joe. Basically, if you like the first Machete, and you like the works of Robert Rodriguez and the whole grindhouse thing going on, then of course, you'll see it. I definitely don't think it's anywhere near as good as the original. In fact, I think it kind of hurts the legacy of the original in a way. I think it would have been far better to just leave it as kind of a standalone piece of work. But again, whatever. When it's this outrageous, you can, do whatever. It's fine. It's absolutely crazy. It's like my time to tell you what the film is about, and it it's just so insane. It seems to be about something else every 5 minutes. What is it about? Okay, there's a madman. There's everyone in the movie's a madman, so I guess that doesn't help any matters. But Mel Gibson has arranged this evil plan. He's got like puppets where you again think he's the bad guy, but he's not. Mel Gibson's the bad guy. Basically, wants to destroy the world. And Machete has to stop him. There's a lot of actors in this, and it's enjoyable, to see them. Let's see. Of course, Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo is Machete. We've got what is it? Sofia Vergara. She's good. All the acting is fine for the film. For what it is, the acting serves its purpose. All the characters are pretty much one note. It's just that you have so many characters, you get plenty of other notes. But it's not like one actor has to do many things. It's just that one actor has to deliver that one performance, that one note, and again, rely on all the other actors to give different, play different notes. And there you've got something that resembles, an ensemble. Okay, so Sofia Vergara. We've got Charlie Sheen going under his birth name of Carlos Estevez. We've got, who else? William Sadler's in there. Just tons of beautiful women. That's my favorite part of the movie, I think, is you have all these insanely beautiful women and, barely there clothes, and that's awesome. Michelle Rodriguez is in this. I don't think Michelle Rodriguez has ever looked this good. I'm not, I guess, the biggest Michelle Rodriguez fan, but she looks amazing in this film. We've also got who else is in there? Cuba Gooding Jr., Walt Goggins, Lady Gaga, Antonio Banderas, Mel Gibson. Again, there's so much going on in the movie. There's death every 5 seconds. There's an explosion every 5 seconds. It's just off the wall insane. Becomes kind of numbing after a while. The plot is just so insane that it goes from here to there. We meet characters only to have them die, and you hope to get to know them, or at least think they're amusing, and you hope they stick around for a while, but no, they are killed. Some characters just kind of disappear without so much of an explanation. I was just like, what happened to this character? And then I started thinking about it while watching the film. I was just like, whatever happened to that character? I was just like, well, I guess they died. I mean, whatever. I guess it could have been death, but so many characters lived through everything in this movie. Damian Bashir is also in that movie. He was very good. I thought, again, it was kind of fun, but kind of not. I just didn't know what he was. Honestly, the only movies I thought about while watching this film were the Zucker Brother movies, the Zucker Brother Abrams movies. I didn't think about any, Rodriguez films. I didn't think about any Tarantino films, which I always think of Tarantino and Rodriguez as kind of, cinematic brothers in a way. I didn't feel any of that energy, that same kind of camp, classic, honoring, worshiping what has come before, and taking that worship and then making something that can stand next to it. This, I felt, kind of, he just wanted to do something crazy with those characters that he already invented, or he had already created. I didn't feel that love for, the Grindhouse movies to come before. I just felt that it was trying to do something on its own, and definitely trying to be outrageous and honor that exploitation past, but it really, basically, it just kind of varied way too much into comedy for me. And I think it might be an obvious choice. That's kind of what I'm wondering. Again, I always try and explain away my criticisms through art, and I always think that, well, maybe that's what Rodriguez wanted. This is his kind of version of a slapstick comedy in a way. Kind of a Sam Raimi-esque, feel to it. And I just thought of that. I don't know why I even said Sam Raimi. I think to put the works of Sam Raimi up next to this is not fair to Sam Raimi. But I just kept on thinking about, especially at the end, like the last third act, when it just becomes kind of a, just is absurd. I kept on thinking about, again, the films of the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrams, primarily the Kentucky Fried Movie. I thought, well, this is just pretty much straight out of Kentucky Fried Movie. This is, you could replace, what is it? I can't remember what the spoof is in Kentucky Fried Movie, what the Kentucky Fried Movie is in the middle there, but I can't remember the name of it. But it seems like Machete could have been in the middle of Kentucky Fried Movie. And so I just kept on thinking about Kentucky Fried Movie. I kept on thinking about Airplane. I can't even explain why, but just the corny dialogue, all the wordplay, it just kind of made me think of Airplane for some reason. Like, that's the level of spoof going on here, is that it's so ridiculous it's almost dumb, but yet, unlike Airplane, it's not brilliant. The Zucker brothers and Abrams, their first few films are just landmarks in the comedy genre, so this is nowhere near that. It has that same type of feel, where it's moving beyond satire and getting to be just outright spoof. I also thought about a far superior film, I would say, Casa de mi Padre, the Will Ferrell Spanish language comedy from last year or a couple of years ago. Again, it was just kind of like, I thought maybe Rodriguez saw that and was like, okay, well, I want to do something kind of like that. It's kind of that bad movie, but again, I think Casa de mi Padre is one of the great comedies of the last few years, and I really like that film. And again, I don't think this is anywhere near that level, but it was just like Casa de mi Padre, except far more violent and far less funny. But still trying to make that same political statement about, the brotherhood that America and Mexico should have. And, again, the illegal immigration statements. Again, it does try and be political, but I think it just loses its way. I don't really know. Again, I got kind of bored and slightly irritated towards the end. I was just like, when is this going to be over? It's about an hour and 50-minute movie. Maybe a little bit under that, maybe an hour 45. Definitely feels like it. You really start to feel that time move on. And I was definitely ready to leave the theater. I did appreciate all the references to other films. I think I got that. There's, just obvious, no attempt to hide it. Love of Star Wars in this film, which I also love Star Wars, so I took a certain amount of satisfaction out of that. Again, it's just something kind of disposable. Definitely not terrible. It's not G.I. Joe Retaliation. It's much better than that. It didn't make me want to die. So there you go. It's not, that. But it's certainly not the first Machete. Again, if my Machete review is here on Hefty Reviews somewhere. Best of my memory, I think I gave it a 7 just because of its, pure fun nature, where the fun seems to be somewhat sucked out of this. Looked fine. I mean, it looked good. Again, Rodriguez is an established director, has been making movies for some time. I feel that I don't necessarily owe him to go see his movies, but I have seen most of Robert Rodriguez's work, just because when I was, I guess around 16, I saw Desperado for the first time, and was just blown away by Desperado, and had to watch El Mariachi because of that. I just always kind of supported Robert Rodriguez because he's a part of my adolescence. There's definitely no surprises here. Again, Robert Rodriguez did pretty much everything. He directed the film, co-wrote the film, scored the film, edited the film. Again, he's an auteur, and he makes the movies that he wants to make, which, of course, I must respect. Just to get your vision up there on the screen without much interference is something spectacular in and of itself. So again, I think, no matter what is, he's making his statement, and maybe it's not the best statement in the world, but, again, it's his, and that has to be respected. So again, he's a good director. It never didn't make sense. He knows how to direct. He knows how to stage action sequences for it to all make sense. Cinematography is fine. It definitely captures that Mexico feeling. I don't even know if they were in Mexico to make this movie, but it definitely feels that way. Looks that way. Special effects are cartoonish, but good. Again, they're cartoonish, but again, they fit the story. Everything fits the story well. It's just that, is the story all that great? Is it saying anything? And I'm not sure that it is. So there you go. I think I've pretty much said everything I got to say about it. It was an okay time. It was an okay time. Definitely, you could wait for rental. You can have a few drinks and enjoy yourself. Watch it with a buddy you can make fun of it with. But really, I think you should just watch the first Machete and be fine with it, and know that you don't really need to see the second one unless you want to see Mel Gibson flip out. And know that he's earning earning a paycheck to flip out. He's not calling his ex-wife and flipping out. He's flipping out for money this time. So it's kind of enjoyable to see that. I hope Mel Gibson, now that he, is kind of known to be insane, I hope that he kind of plays more insane characters now, so that we get to see that side of him. I guess that's pretty much all I gotta say. I think I've said my piece. So there you go. That's the new one from Robert Rodriguez. It's Machete Kills, and I give it a middle of the road 5. Thanks much.